Have you ever been exploring Left 4 Dead and come across places that are quite cozy and warm? Well, in today's video, we're going to be exploring some unexpectedly cozy places in Left 4 Dead 2. For those of you who are returning from my other videos, you might have noticed that this is a bit of change of pace for me, and that's true. And the reason for that is some people suggested it in the last video, and I thought it would be the perfect thing to do for a quote-unquote Christmas special. So as always, if you guys really enjoy the video, please subscribe. If we hit 1,500 likes, I will post 2 bunny pictures for Christmas. You heard that right, 2 bunny pictures for Christmas. Just my way of saying thank you for liking the video. Trust me, he's cute. Again, if you're subscribed and I post the pictures, you'll get it on your front page. You won't need to come back or anything. So make sure you subscribe. You'll see those bunny pictures as soon as I post them. I always do. I never forget. And let's begin with the video. Thank you guys so much for enjoying. So before we get into the first unexpectedly cozy place, I want to say something real quick, but it's pretty hard to find warm and cozy places in this game. I mean, think about it, right? This is a zombie apocalypse game. It's not supposed to be really warm and cozy. The only places that are supposed to emulate that is the safe rooms, but I don't want to just show you safe rooms for 30 minutes and call it a day. I want to try to extrapolate or try to find the cozy, quote unquote, areas of maybe some darker places. So some of these places will look dark initially, but my goal is to try to get you to see it from my perspective and how it was at least once cozy, or maybe still is cozy, but in the non-conventional way. With that out of the way, the first unexpectedly cozy place is the plantation house on the last map of Swamp Fever. Now this map overall has a little bit darker tone, but even from the image on the last map, you can see it looks a bit warm. The sun is out, and as we make our way to the entrance, from the backside at least, you climb up this ladder, and as you enter here, there's these bears. Now there's a couple of things that these bears symbolize. I've heard that they symbolize the survivors. I heard that they symbolize specifically Left 4 Dead 2 survivors, and that's mainly it, to be honest. It's pretty interesting. You can see there's some teddy bears here. As you jump down, you can see that light shines through the windows, and it gives you this kind of warm and settling feeling. Ignoring some of the wall and trash and obvious holes in the ceilings and doors, as I mentioned earlier, a lot of the light from the outside makes its way into the plantation house and makes it feel warm, you know? Looking at something like this reminds me of something like my grandma's house, or maybe a relative's house that you go to for Christmas. There's furniture here, which again reminds me of my grandma's house. A lot of this old wooden furniture. There's a wheelchair here, which for some will remind them of their grandma, unfortunately. There's another teddy bear here, along with a light here. For me, living in Hawaii, we have something called koa wood, and koa wood is like a very specific type of furniture look. It's hard to explain, but when you look at it, it's wood, and you can just tell by the design. You can tell by the design that it is koa, but the reason why I bring this up is because these don't necessarily look really like koa wood, but I could see that if this was something like my grandma's house, koa wood makes me feel very cozy. It makes me feel very warm. I'm next to my relatives, my grandma, and overall, it makes me feel nice and comfortable. However, the coziest part, in my opinion, of this entire plantation house is this one room. The light shines in perfectly. People can sit up against this wall, maybe cook themselves a nice meal. There's a shovel in here. There's some beautiful, beautiful books here for 2008, at least. Beautiful. Looking at what's on the ground, there's multiple sleeping bags. I see that there's a blue one, there's another blue one, there's a green one here, there's 2 more green ones and a blue one on this side. It looks like there's pillows here, there's some writing on the wall, there's some more rolled up sleeping bags along with some clothes. But as I mentioned earlier, lighting is a very, very, very big thing in making a place feel cozy and warm, because light not only symbolizes quote unquote warmth, but it actually makes you feel warmth if you're hit with direct sunlight. But imagine yourself sitting here with your 5 other friends, cooking yourselves a meal, talking about, yo, what do you guys want to do today? Oh, let's go down, let's get some sugar cane, let's get some food, we need to go run some supplies. And a lot of times it's hard to think about the cozier aspects of maps like this because you're constantly being bombarded with zombies. But if you're able to do this and you're able to go into these maps, turn the director off, and just explore the maps for what they are, a lot of them are much cozier than you might think they are. Coming out here, they have a very beautiful deck, ignoring some of the missing railings and awkward texture meshing. I don't know the right term, but like when they connect right there. This is honestly a very, very beautiful and bright map. In this room right here, there's more writing on the wall. You can pause the video and read it if you like. And if I enter no clip mode and we view the front of the house, it's being hit with probably the most sunlight I've ever seen in a map. I don't think there's another map that simulates this time of day. Probably it's like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. It might be towards the end of the day, but something about the lighting tells me it's early in the day. But that's the first place. Let's move on to the second place. Now for the next unexpectedly cozy place, I take you guys to the first map of The Last Stand, but at the end, and today we're going to be particularly looking at the safe room. In my opinion, this is by far the most coziest safe room, and like I said, I'm not going to just show you guys safe rooms, but I think once you see this one, or many of you know what this one actually looks like, you'll see what I mean. It's pretty cozy. Alright, I had to go to the next part of this area because Bill wouldn't shut the hell up about closing the safe room door, and it was low-key pissing me off. Ignoring that fact, getting back to where we were, there is a nice desk here. There's some lamps, there's some books, there's what seems to be a little radio. I'm not too sure what this is. Trying to get a good look at it. Let me know down below. There's a cabinet here with some drawers. Coming over to a fireplace. Man, fireplaces are always cozy. It reminds me of Christmas time. There's a nice rug here which makes it feel even warmer. You can lay back, sit on this couch, take a look at your nice deer head looking outside your window that has since been boarded up. But then again, fireplaces just make the place feel so much warmer. I mean, literally it is warming you up, but from a design perspective, shedding light on everything. Over here you have this nice, clean, definitely not dirty stove top. There's a bunch of dials, there's some handles. Coming over here, there's this nice little candle that has a really nice look to it. There's a trash can here. There's more cabinets you can open. There's some shelves. You have the lighting reflecting from this candle, contrasting with the lighting from the fireplace. A really, really well made safe room, and it genuinely feels like a safe room. And what not a lot of people realize is that on this table, they've hooked up seems to be a car battery to a light here. There's a nice hanging light here which seems to be controlled by some sort of switch. Coming to the opposite end of the house, man, this bed looks so comfy. I could see myself snuggling in this bed, taking a nice warm nap, having my bunny next to me, putting my sidearms down for but a moment to just relax. There's a nice little candle here giving off some light, and as you come into the bathroom, honestly a really beautiful bathroom here. They have this nice log cabin aesthetic. I mean, it is obviously a log cabin, but what I seem to be confused about is this. I've never seen a shower like this. Usually it's enclosed by some sort of barrier around. Like, what if this dude's showering and there's a guy taking a shit? Like, the dude taking a shit is just gonna be completely wet. Not to even mention the toilet paper. Not the toilet paper, man. Y'all remember 2020?
Charged with a freight and a due in court.
But that's pretty much it for this area. I think it is super cozy, and honestly, it's expectedly cozy. So yeah, let's move on to the next place. Now for the next warm and cozy place in Left 4 Dead 2, we are actually 5 feet away from the previous one, but I thought this one was a little bit interesting and it was worthy for showing you guys, so might as well do it anyway. So starting here by these dumpster fires, these are a very reoccurring thing in Left 4 Dead. As you guys know, I start every one of these videos standing right next to it, so I thought I'd leave a little Easter egg in there for you guys. But what we're really interested in today is this outpost thing, this overlooking tower sort of thing. There's more firewood, there seems to be some spindles here. I've seen these sort of like wheel looking things in other places in Left 4 Dead. I don't actually know what they are. I might have to do some extra research on that. Over here, there's more candles lighting up this sign that says "We don't go to the lighthouse." There's a flashlight, which I don't think I've ever seen, but is a really nice, interesting detail, shining off into the distance. Over here, there's 2 sleeping bags along with some trash. There's some weaponry. There's some boxes. There's some cinder blocks here. There's some trash next to the sleeping bags. What seems to be some type of cereal. Can't really make out what that looks like. It looks like little pancakes. There's a water jug. There's some cans. You can tell someone has definitely been living here. Someone has made it their home. Coming up the stairs, walking around. There's some plywood here, extra boards, more cinder blocks. There's some light shining off into the distance on all sides. And as you come in here, this is also a very cozy place. You know, there's a bag here. There's radios here. There's this asset again. There's one of these things. Now, these communicating devices have been used very frequently. They've been on almost, I think, all of the end maps to call in the evac. There's what seems to be a sink here. I don't know where it would be getting its water from, but there's a map here. There's another map here. There's some books here. There's a single book there, but there's more books here. There's a toaster. There's a clipboard. You know, ignoring that guy, the place is really cozy, and ignoring that person too. And what I really love about this place up here is that this green AK, this green and black AK that you can find, it's super cool. I mean, I believe it's just the same thing as an actual AK, it's just green and black. But for those of you who don't know, if you come up here and you look inside this chest, yeah, there is an actual AK that you can find. And this Desert Eagle, if I'm not mistaken, is different too. Its wooden handle there is different than the other Desert Eagles, which is that nice chrome finish. Looking at this MAC-10, it looks to be the same. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe the finish on the base of the weapon. But yeah, this green AK right here is pretty cool. It's honestly the reason why I come up here all the time. And if I'm not mistaken, it doesn't spawn every single time, but it is a very high chance of spawning, so make your way up here. But overall, this is a pretty cozy place. I could see myself living here, maybe taking out some of our guests here and putting them in the back alley. But this bed, very nice bed, honestly. Shooting out some of this glass, they have a pretty good view. If you get used to it, this could be a very cozy place to live. Think about it, right? Would you rather live in this outpost up here that has a little bit more strategical advantage, or would you live in the more homey cabin down there? I think it's an interesting debate. I mean, what would you live in? Would you rather live in this place or that place down there? Because at one point there seemed to be maybe 2 groups of people living in this area, or maybe it was one group that decided to just spread out. Who knows? That's the power of environmental storytelling. You can infer without having to be told exactly what's going on. But that's pretty much it for this place. Let's move on to the next place. Now for the next cozy and warm, unexpectedly cozy place. This one way more unexpectedly cozy. This is a bit of a stretch. It might be the biggest stretch in this video, but for those of you who watched my previous video, you know I have a very big thing for water. I've always liked water in video games. For those of you who've played Halo Reach, in the very first mission, there's a river that comes down from the valley, and I used to play in that river as a kid. I used to play Halo 4, and there was that sand map with the rivers coming down, and I used to hop off the big wheelie thing you used to be on and play in those rivers. My point is that water to me makes me feel very warm and cozy. You have to ignore a lot of this area to try and get that feeling. Most of, if not the entire feeling from this place, comes from the sounds you hear when you look up and you gaze at the water just falling down. Exploring this area, I mean, there's blood everywhere. There's graffiti on the wall. There's lights on. There's some steel beams. Of course, there's pipes. I mean, this is a drainage circle. Coming down the ladder, this is where survivors can pick up weapons. Looking up, you get that nice square in the ceiling, dripping water down, filling up the floor down here. But this map in particular, this area, has a very distinct feeling, and I can't really describe it. It mostly has to do with the sound and the water. So at the end of this segment, I'll play you a little bit of what I mean. But I envision being able to sit here, chilling with your homies, just taking it in, just sitting down, looking off into the distance, maybe lighting up a smoke and just having a grandiose time, just chilling here, doing not really anything, kind of just listening to the water. And a very interesting thing too is they actually put a tree card up there. If you come to this area and you drop down from over here, there's a tree card there, which you can't see on any of the other sides, but it's pretty nice. Let me play some of that music, or not really music, but let me play some of that ambience for you guys. Now for the next unexpectedly cozy place, I take you to the first map on Blood Harvest, and it's not this place in particular, but I wanted to show you guys this place as well. Everyone's seen this place when you spawn into Blood Harvest. This is right where you spawn with the bots. There's some camping stuff here. There's a campfire here with some smoke coming out of it. And if you look into the campfire here, there's some money in there. There's some nice orange colored embers, and honestly, sitting next to this fire makes me feel super comfortable, so I can see why they made it here. I don't actually know how the survivors got to this place in the hilltops. It seems like a pretty interesting place to wind up. But what I really want to show you guys is down later in the map. As you make your way through the map, you come through these trees and you meet this bridge going over this chasm right here. And to me, what makes this area cozy is this shack right here. Normally, people come through this shack, they take some ammunition, they maybe find some weapons or some grenades or maybe some healing items, and they just dip. But to me, this place has electricity. You know, there's a 5-star bathroom here. I mean, look at this. They got this nice pristine, I don't know what it's made of, porcelain maybe, toilet. There seems to be no shower, so that's a bit of a problem. You know, these people are going to be dirty as hell up in here. There's a nice little sink here. There's some healing items like I just mentioned. There's some file cabinets. There's a file cabinet on its side over here. There's a desk. There's some chairs. There's some files on the ground. Ignoring our little friend over here, there's some seats out here. There's some more file cabinets. Honestly, I wonder what this is meant to be. I think it's meant to be a research station or like an outpost or someone who maybe goes out here and collects data, because mainly what is in here is files. So I'd be pretty interested in seeing what you guys have to say down below, what this place is meant to be. But exploring the outer areas, there's a couple cars out here. This one pretty interesting. I mean, if you came across this place like us and you decide to live here, you could probably get away with salvaging these cars and making some of these things run. I mean, we find gas cans all throughout the map, so I don't know why you shouldn't get it to run. But don't you love the America license plates, guys? Yeah, these America license plates are always so beautiful. America. And as you come out here, you can see some people had a party because there's some beers out here. There's a case of them right there. There's some cards on the floor. People had a grandiose time playing with cards. There's a trash can knocked over, and there's actually a little thing we can pick up here. There's some chairs, and I can imagine you just sitting here on this chair, watching your homies drink, playing with some cards, just having a really nice time out in the woods, and all of a sudden this annoying ass zombie apocalypse comes and takes that all away from you. Well, that's unfortunate, isn't it? Oh shit, you can actually jiggle this guy. But yeah, let's move on to the next place. Now for this cozy, unexpectedly cozy and or warm place, I take you to the first map of Hard Rain. And if you remember from my last video, in my personal opinion, I think Hard Rain is the darkest campaign, but that has to do mostly with the later half of the map where the actual rain comes down and it makes it more of a darker map. But spawning into this map, it's actually pretty bright and it does feel pretty warm. And someone, if I can find the comment, left a comment on the previous video saying that Hard Rain is actually one of the cooler maps because people came together and held off and defended here. As you make your way into this restaurant, Burger Tank, you can see there's some healing items here that the survivors can come and grab. There's a lady sleeping on the floor over here. There's some nice pots here. There's some beautiful grenades. There's some ovens. There's some sinks. If you make your way back here, You can see that there's some telephones here. You can call your family, hopefully, if there's some power in the area. There's some generators here, or a generator here, I should say. It seems like if you run the cord over here, you could possibly get this up and running. I believe you can actually, yep, you can open this porta potty and you can wait in here, take a poo, and take a poo. Make your way out of that beautiful porta potty. There's some items on the ground over here. It looks like some red paint. That's what that is. There's some boxes here, which you can actually move around a little bit. There's some sodas. Imagine you come in before the apocalypse. Oh my god, yo bro, let's meet up. Where do you want to eat? Oh bro, let's go Burger Tank. Bro, I got you. You could come inside Burger Tank. Yo, what you want? Yo, give me the yellow fizz, man. Oh sure, I got you. Here's the yellow fizz. Bro, you drink that yellow fizz. Oh my god, it tastes delicious. You come over here. Yo bro, I'm gonna grab a seat. You order us some food. I got you, man. Come over here. You grab a seat. Just like that. You sit down. Yo bro, you know, you're 3 feet tall. Yo bro, yo, can you order me the Burger Tank Deluxe? Oh yeah, man, I got you. Your bro comes over here. Yo cashier, can I get the Burger Tank Deluxe, man? The cashier's like, oh yeah, sure, man. Oh shoot, I dropped some tomato sauce. Let me clean this up real quick. Cashier takes a break, cleans it up. And honestly, that little reenactment was perfect because it shows you the amount of coziness that Burger Tank can have. And what makes it even cozier is the fact that there's pipe bombs that spawn here. There's some healing items. It can really make you feel like you're fighting for something. There's a bunch of residents sleeping outside. They enjoyed too much of the Burger Tank tomato sauce. Coming up onto the roof, you have some of these propane tanks. You can throw them down here. Yo, I want that burger well done, he says. Boom. Takes these two, puts them in this thing right here. Cook it up. Cook it up. And yeah, this is a pretty small kitchen for what I would assume would be a 5-star restaurant. You can see that they actually have onion rings, $1.50, chicken nuggets. Oh, they have chili for $1.99. You know, I work at a fast food place, and the amount of people that come into my store saying, you remember when it was $5 for a mahi plate? No, I don't remember when it was $5 because I didn't work here when it was $5. And I'm pretty sure it was never $5 because that's really, really tiny. Yeah, let's go to the next place. Now we have made it to the last part of today's video, the last supposedly unexpectedly cozy place in Left 4 Dead 2, and it's actually on the second map of Dead Air, the crane map, and it's after you make your way out of the safe room, you climb up the ladder and you enter what seems to be a hotel. I don't think it's an apartment complex. It might be apartment complex, hotel, doesn't really matter. But as you make your way in here, there's a nice little bathroom, there's porcelain everywhere, extra toilet paper. Man, the people in this apocalypse have no idea what went down in 2020, man. Only if they knew. Making our way in here, there's some more Burger Tank sauce on the ground. There's a bed. Oh my god, it looks so comfortable. You got a nice AK in one hand. You got a nice spaz in the other hand. And you're cozy sleeping there. There's a sink here. There's a mirror. Some coffee. Making our way out here, there's some residents that chose to sleep on the floor. There's some soda drinks. There's some vending machines here. It says cold drinks, actually. What seems to be some environmental storytelling. Maybe someone came out here, they dropped some of their items, or maybe they just broke this glass and then put a bunch of this trash on the floor. But there what seems to be a remote here, which is I'm pretty sure is not found in a vending machine. There's some Burger Tank sauce on the ground. There's a very comfy looking bed. This reminds me a lot of the plantation beds. It reminds me a lot of my grandma's house as well, simultaneously. It looks pretty warm. There's a nice little mini fridge here with some TVs. These are some of the similar assets we saw on Blood Harvest. I mean, these are both Left 4 Dead 1 maps, so it makes sense. There's some closet here with some paper towels. I'm surprised this wasn't raided. There's a chainsaw. There's someone who had one too many Burger Tank burgers. There's a nice little picture here. There's some side cabinets. And to me, what makes this feel cozy is I could see, you know, you guys cleaning up some of these sleeper folks, kind of putting them outside, getting your boys, yo, I call this room, and then getting your other boy, yo, I call that room, and yeah, just chilling. I mean, I'm pretty sure these are hotel rooms. I mean, they look actually pretty cool. They look pretty nice. I could see myself getting on this if this wasn't like an apocalypse filth-ridden building, but you know, you win some, you lose some. Coming into this room, you see that it pretty much looks the same. There's some furniture knocked over. There's some more sinks. I could see myself, bro, if it was cold, just pulling this blanket bag, just sleeping. Oh my god, man, I woke up early for this video. I could just fall asleep. You know, passing by some of the more sleepers on the ground, you see that there's a nice little room over here. It looks pretty much the same, has a lot of similar assets. There's a pistol there. There's some items there. This room, man, this dude's got to get to cleaning, man. This is unacceptable. The amount of trash on the floor is crazy. You see in the kitchen over here, there's another one of these mini fridges. There's a little coffee thing. It looks like they were drinking something and they put it in the sink. Why would you put an aluminum can in the sink? If you reuse aluminum cans, you deserve to be in a state penitentiary. There's what seems to be a little food container here. There's a microwave, which actually has its power on. I mean, there's literally a light right there. So there's a very nice bathroom. I don't think I've seen a nicer bathroom. There's a big old block here with a towel that's actually pretty clean. You know, I would expect them to use one of the many dirty towels they have on their floor, but you know, there's some windows that have been boarded up. There's one more of these beds over here. There's a lot of Burger Tank sauce here. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this area. Like I said, it is hard to find like places like this that are very warm and cozy. You know, many people are probably going to disagree with the fact that I think these places are warm and cozy, but let me know down in the comments, you guys have any of your own warm and cozy places? Do you guys think these places are warm and cozy? That's going to be it for today's video. Remember, if we hit 1,500 likes, I'll post 2 bunny pictures for Christmas. You know, say it's my way of thanking you guys. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Subscribe, hit the like button, and have a nice rest of your day. Merry Christmas, by the way. Peace out.